Hi everyone, my name is Jade. I'm from Foxtrot Services and I will be demoing the RedacSure tool. RedacSure is a redaction analyst's new best friend. It replaces the very manual, tedious, time and energy consuming process of document redaction with an automated AI-powered redaction engine with the ability to generate redactions really quickly and consistently in a very simple workflow. This workflow operates on the highly secure Palantir Foundry platform, using Foundry's ontology for data grounding and AIP for delivering secure, traceable, and scalable compliance. What you're seeing on your screen is step one of three of this workflow. Let's say I'm an analyst. I have about 50 to 100 redaction requests that come into my inbox. All I have to do is drag and drop however many documents I want to into this upload, press submit, and let RedacSure do its magic. Let's go ahead and look at all the uploaded documents. We can see the two documents that we had just uploaded, along with a brief description of the document context, so we don't have to read through the entire document to understand it. I'm going to go ahead and select one of these documents and move on to step two. So once I'm in step two, all of the heavy lifting has been done for me. All the redactions are identified, and all I have to do as a human in the loop is do a quick review to close that loop. You can look at the original PDF on the left and all the redacted text on the right in a nice tabular format. I can see I have 15 redactions that I need to review, and I can go ahead and click on any of them to look at the exact text that has been identified and get a better understanding of the reason for redaction. So I can see from this chunk of text, it extracted this redacted text for the business strategy protection exemption number 3 to protect market position, cost advantage, and customer base. Let's say I've gone through the majority of these and I want to select which ones I would like to approve and reject. I'm going to go ahead and approve all of them. Once you're happy with your approvals and rejections from all these redactions, we can move on to the third step. So step three is just a side-by-side comparison of the recreated document in Markdown. So you can see the text that has a strike through over it and the exemption and reason behind that redaction. Once you've finished reviewing, obviously the strike through still reveals that text. So in order to export the final redacted document, you can go ahead and click Export as PDF. We can open the downloaded PDF and you can see that all the redacted text is totally removed. So let's go under the hood a little bit and see actually how the magic happens. We can select this gear icon at the top right to be able to look at all the redaction rules that are being applied. So looking at these rules, the meat of how it's going to be applied is going to be in this exemption rules section. We found that the most consistent and effective way to define this rule is identifying the essential requirements that cover the core essence of the rule in a checklist format. So for business strategy protection, we're making sure that it's strategic, harmful, non-public, revealing, and consistent. And this is to make sure that we protect market position, cost advantage, and customer base. If we scroll down a little bit, we can see that there's a section where you can input examples. So these can be routine examples or more niche examples. It's going to be providing that additional context for the AI engine. At the bottom, you'll see this active status. An active status just means that it's actively being applied to the redaction workflow, and an inactive status just means that it's being ignored. So there's absolutely no harm in creating a new rule, setting the active status as inactive while you are validating and ensuring that rule is really well defined and really well validated. So on the topic of validation, rule validation is really important to ensure that we're not just throwing something at a wall and seeing what sticks. We want to make sure that there are guardrails to validate that the redactions are being identified well. So we built out an evaluation suite just to do that. The first part of the evaluation suite is being able to compare outputted redactions to a ground truth. So this is the expected outputs tab where you can upload this ground truth. So all we have to do is upload the ground truth here. So any previously redacted document, press submit, and the tool will extract the text that has been redacted by comparing the original document. So all the redactions are listed in this expected redactions table that you can review. So this is the prerequisite for the evaluation suite. Once you have all of your ground truths uploaded and your expected redactions extracted, we can move on to the evaluation suite and create test cases. So a test case is just a combination of documents and rules. Instead of applying all of the rules that have an active status, you can select any combination of rules, inactive or active, to create that test case. Once you submit a test case, it will generate those redactions in the background, and it doesn't affect anything in the main redaction workflow. It stays in this nice little sandbox suite. Once the redactions are generated, there are a couple metrics that are calculated here: precision and recall. Precision answers the question of all the LLM generated redactions, how many were expected? And recall answers the question of all the expected redactions, how many did the LLM generate correctly? So a good example of this is if we have a document and redact the entire thing, we'll have 100% recall because they'll cover all the expected redactions, but the precision will be really low because we're not being very granular or very picky. So we want to make sure that we have a good balance of the two to avoid over-redacting, under-redacting, overfitting, underfitting, etc. So I wanted to highlight a little bit of what this iterative process looks like using this set of test cases over here on one document. So the test case on the very bottom is the very first test case that we tested out with two rules that we applied that generated 20 redactions with a precision of 71% and a recall of 43%. We can see over the subsequent test cases, tweaking of the rule definitions, adding different examples. We can see these metrics changing, increasing, and making our performance even better, with our most recent run having a precision of 97% and a recall of 100%. At this point, I would conclude that our set of rules that we applied are great. Our examples are good. Our rules are defined really well. We are redacting everything that it's expected, and I can go ahead and set all of these rules to active to be applied in the main redaction workflow with full confidence. With the capabilities of the evaluation suite combined with the rules manager, the foundation is laid out for anyone from any use case or industry to reuse. Whether it be in healthcare, public sector, or legal, you can eliminate the bottleneck of manual redaction, saving a massive amount of time, and put your energy and expertise into the things that matter most. So be sure with RedacSure, we simplify your compliance with a three-step workflow that provides a trustworthy, repeatable framework to deliver secure, consistent, and traceable redactions. Thank you.